¿Qué es más divertido y más difícil? ¿Luchar contra los terroristas en 24 o contra los marcianos en una película de animación?
What's more difficult and funnier? Fighting against terrorists in 24 or fighting against aliens in Aliens versus Monsters?
Well, it's a two-part question. It's more difficult to make 24, and it's obviously more funny to do Monsters versus Aliens.
¿Te habría gustado ser uno de los monstruos?
Would you have liked to have been one of the monsters?
No, it's I've never approached work like that. I've always looked at a script, and if I like the story, then it is up to the director to decide what part I play. And I've always likened it to a band. Sometimes you get to be the singer, sometimes you play guitar, sometimes you play bass. The band doesn't work without the bass. So, you know, whatever part that I'm appropriate for, from the director's vision to tell the story, I'm happy with.
Has puesto la voz a un coronel en Los Simpson, a un sargento en el videojuego Call of Duty y ahora eres un general. ¿No crees que tu voz se está encasillando?
You put the voice for a sergeant in The Simpsons. For a video game, I don't remember exactly what. And now for a colonel. And now for a colonel. Do you think that you're probably being... Monstruos. Are you afraid of being pigeonholed?
You're up typecast? It's, typecasting is a difficult thing. People get used to seeing you as a certain character. Directors, producers, they're the people that hire you. And it's very limiting. And I think there have been other actors that have been much better at skirting around that. There was a long time in my career where I would only play, I would only get offered things to play the bad guy. 24 has changed that to some degree. The thing about Monsters vs. Aliens, again, I try not to think of my work in terms of that. Monsters vs. Aliens as voice work, which is very separate from what I would do on 24, is the first time I've actually felt comfortable enough and free enough to do a voice that wasn't necessarily representative of mine. The video game that you're referring to was a thing called Call of Duty, and then we also made 24, the video game, and that was my voice. You were supposed to recognize that as me. In Monsters vs. Aliens, I think you could have shown that to an awful lot of people and they would not have known that that was me until someone told them. That aspect I loved. Yeah.
¿Qué te parece la evolución de la animación en todos estos años?
What do you make of the development of animation over all these years? What do you think of that?
Well, again, I am a huge fan of the projected or the trajectory of technology. As long as it doesn't interfere with the story. As much as I am proud of the technological advancements that represent Monsters vs. Aliens, because I think it is huge. I'm taking my grandson to the opening in Los Angeles, and he's 4.5 years old. And when the meteorites come in that first sequence, and they surround you, and they really pull you into the movie, I can't wait to see his face. I'm 42 years old and it made me feel like that. For a 4.5-year-old, he's gonna be like that. So I can't wait to see that. But I look back on some of the animated things that I have seen when I was young, and because they were such great stories, that ultimately is what drives film. So as long as the technology does not sacrifice or try to replace a quality story, then I am all for it.
Oye, ¿qué grita la gente cuando te ve venir? Por ejemplo, ¡cuidado, que viene!
Susan.
Oh, thank you.
Susan.
Nice to meet you.
Uy, qué susto.